My father owned this land, from the banks of Old Miss to the west coast sand, and the black hills between, where the gold once rolled through the Indian's dream. And I would follow too. History books were books I vaguely knew, for there were seminars ahead and graphs to memorize, till the day I felt those eyes. And they were dancing, and he was chanting, blood from a rock, water from a stone, tears from an Indian skull and crossbones. Blood from a rock, water from a stone, tears from an Indian skull and crossbones. I've come here to collect. There's a payment owed on an ancient debt, to break the Sunday doctor's spell. Flesh and spirit dance here in hell. My father looked straight through. He said, your God died with the faithful few. And son, the Indians will dance and the Indians will die. What's one more white lie? You got a big day tomorrow, let's let the yellow dogs ride. Blood from a rock, water from a stone, tears from an Indian skull and crossbones. Blood from a rock, water from a stone, tears from an Indian skull and crossbones. From an Indian skull and crossbones. Blood from a rock, water from a stone, tears from an Indian skull and crossbones. Blood from a rock, water from a stone, tears from an Indian skull and crossbones. Water from a stone, tears from an Indian skull and crossbones. Hey, 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 hey. Blood from a rock, water from a stone, tears from an Indian skull and crossbones. Blood from a rock, water from a stone, tears from an Indian skull and crossbones. Blood from a rock, water from a stone. My father owned this land. sailors choking. I heard it in the words of the poets and in the songs of a lost generation. I smelled it on the petals of a white rose, crushed underfoot of brainwashed soldiers of domination. And I found salvation in your arms. I found salvation. I found salvation in your arms. I found salvation. I found salvation. I heard the evangelist on TV trying to preach it. I heard the promise of a government man, and I watched him preach it. I read it in the Times and the Washington Post when they tried to create it. And I signed petitions on the college campus saying we hate it. I heard it from the tongues of voices silenced by the guns of a foreign nation. And I found salvation in your arms. I found salvation. I found salvation in your arms. I found salvation. I found salvation in your arms. I found salvation. I found salvation. Written on the walls by Skid Row drums, trying to deface it. I saw it in the violence of a cop trying to erase it. I saw it in the gestures of a jester in his quest to disgrace it. I saw it in the flames of a revolution destined to replace it. I saw it in the eyes of the people sworn to die or else embrace it. And I found salvation. I saw it in the midnight moon peering over the clouds to the shelter of the morning. And I found salvation in your arms. I found salvation. I found salvation in your arms. I found salvation. I found salvation in your arms. I found salvation. I found salvation in your arms. I found salvation. I found salvation in your arms. I found salvation. I found salvation in your arms. I found salvation. I found salvation in your arms. I found salvation. I met her one evening at my place after the show. We spoke 'neath the balcony stars for an hour or so. There was something I had that she needed, so to her it seemed. But each time that we almost connected, she woke from the dream. And all the things you're thinking about her, they're just wrong. All the things about a woman's attraction to a man with a song. We're just reflections in mirrors and corners of hallways, clowns at a revolving door. You know every inch of this gallery. You've watched me paint every one of these pictures before. She spoke from the heart, but her truth gets lost in my words. All the smiles and the smirks that it causes are unfair to her. The one time I laid my lips upon her is the night I regret. How she blinked and then questioned my honor, I'll never forget. Don't use liquor to mask indiscretion, she said very calm. I can't help it if you're my obsession, but I can move on. We're just reflections in mirrors and corners of hallways, clowns at a revolving door. You know every inch of this gallery. You've watched me paint every one of these pictures before. Little by little, she drew away, and one day she was gone. I had to pull before I got pushed, she'd say later on. And in the time that passed between meetings, I often have guessed she went back to the feeling she wanted the least, but understood best. And our ghosts crossed each other's hallways and nodding in silence watched the death of the infant they loved to prevent greater violence. We're just reflections in mirrors and corners of hallways, clowns at a revolving door. You know every inch of this gallery. You've watched me paint every one of these pictures before. We're just reflections in mirrors and corners of hallways, clowns at a revolving door. You recognized it as his own. The night's reply was a silent sigh, like a breath coming over the phone. He glanced at a letter from a bleeding woman he'd known some years ago. It was the single trait that would seal his fate, never could let go. It was there from the start, too close to the heart. Money makes men mad sometimes, and it took its toll on Jim, till she didn't feel honest with the love she'd promised and split before she came. He really must have loved the girl. They say he had her house burned down, her business assets frozen, and all of her friends followed all over town. She paused neath an awning and removed a ring. With a tear she shined the stone, and she gave it to a bum on the side of the road. Said it ain't much, but it's your own. Before I take it back, depart. It's still too close to the heart. She dreamed of wide open spaces and hours on the clock to kill, and me, the urgency of life's moment, the paranoia and the thrill. She wasn't exactly innocent, guilty ain't the word for him. She was more like her accusers than any of them would ever admit. I felt my mind cloud over as I touched the curve of her spine. We exploded together in a moment, never to become completely unintertwined. Leave out the next part. It's still too close to the heart. She floated up into the hills one night, built a fire to keep herself sane, made a list of every burning bridge and offered it to the flame. She thought about love on a one-night stand and how hard that was to explain. He had what it took to take what she had at the time. It didn't seem so vain. And all the way down the coastline road, the sea breeze blew at me. In the back of her head, a photographer said, "You're overexposed, honey. Move on to the next frame." She felt the fire crackle and spark, but she shivered close to the heart. Let me tell you honestly, she knew that he was about to lie. She couldn't sit in the same room still, so she ran out of the bar to cry. She heard her band play Tangled Up in Blue, but it wasn't the version she'd known. They'd slowed it down till she thought she'd drown. The singing sounded so long. She felt for every one of the characters the singer was singing about. From the blinding light to the docks at night, to the battle at the Montague High. I'll leave out the next part. It's still too close to the heart. the heart.
Tiptoe around each other's attitudes, Yeah, we test each other sometimes. Mostly we're pretty careful. Careful not to cross the line. But I can see the days are coming. Yeah, I see it coming fast. When we stop dressing up the emperor, put all this in the past. Hey, 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 hey. I guess I'll pack my things in the morning when your car leaves the garage. We'll avoid the confrontation. Yeah, we'll call it a mirage. Later on we'll talk of pros and cons like it was just another deed. Maybe when we're both a little older, we'll admit this was for real. Now I've got eyelids like sandbags once again, and I'm tired of the same old fight. And I swear I'm gonna make a decision before I go to sleep tonight. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah, we know each other all too well. I see some of me and you. I had to admire your strategy as I felt the blow that pierced me through and through. Like a killer first flashes his weapon, so you feel the whole thing twice. You held my past before me like I hadn't lived through it already. Thanks for the advice. Now I've got eyelids like sandbags once again, and I'm tired of the same old fight. And I swear I'm gonna make a decision before I go to sleep tonight. Just like a cannonball in a darkness, my bed looks like a leg hole trap. My eyelids showing the same old horror reflecting my thoughts in the muscle, but just like a leaky tap. And there's a lot of talk here of morals. I may not have followed mine to the letter. You never so much as tested yours. At least I know myself better.